Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So, I just got back from a walk and I'm feeling awesome. I hope you're feeling awesome. I felt called to pull cards and I got the message that this is the energy for the next 48 hours. So, I guess time is irrelevant, right? It's not real. The presence is the most important thing. And so I guess when this finds you, it will be your 48 hours or how you perceive time. But me, I hope it goes even longer, right? I hope it's just something that you grasp onto and it becomes your everyday. That's how I hope this energy seeds and integrates in. So why do I feel that way? Let me tell you, because I already shook things up and I got the cards on the table. So I felt drawn to use Soul's Journey. We got Divine Guidance, and then hanging out with Archangels. Archangel Power Tarot cards. All right, so very first one to come out was Balance. And that's why I hope this lasts even longer. I hope it seeds and integrates into things because this is such a positive spread. So whatever's been happening, whatever's got your mind twisty, making you doubt yourself, maybe you're overthinking things, just let it go. Because in Balance, it says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world and I do so without judgment. And then the next one to come out was Gratitude. And the gratitude says, I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities it presents. And that kind of landed in the past position. So maybe a little bit of the past is in the present, which takes you away from your present. So you're not really balanced. You get trapped in your mind, which kind of funny because above that is the imagination. And that was above the Balance with Moon in reverse. So we got Archangel Haniel there, but with no illusion, right? It's just your mind telling you whatever it is that, it thinks that it's protecting you from. That's what the ego is. The ego is healthy sometimes, but unchecked, it could become quite unruly. So the ego, how can it be balanced and healthy? Well, in the past, things happened and your body's like, you know what, that was so bad for me, I never want to experience that feeling again. And so your ego's like, I'll save you, because why? There's no white knight that's gonna come and save your ass. Why? Because it's an inside job. You gotta do the inner work. You gotta go in through the depths, the dark forest, the shadowy things that go bump in the night, and you need to shine a light there. And you need to tell yourself, guess what? There are no monsters under my bed. It's just my imagination. And then I was thinking of Mr. Monster, that's my cat, and he doesn't even go under the bed. But then I looked over here and there was the white dog, and my cat's white, so little Mr. Monster. And so that's the point, thank you. I took something that I absolutely love, Mr. Monster Dino, and yeah, how can monsters scare you if that's your protector, your friend, your ally? So it's just my imagination running away with me. Oh, temptations. What about temptations? Oh, the word temptation, they're saying. And so it could be tempting to go back to old patterns, because guess what? Sometimes when you just don't check your ego and you just let it control and run, I'm seeing wildfire, run free, like wildfire, that's what I was trying to say. It could be tempting, right? We kind of, it could take you to things that really isn't good for you, keeps you trapped, keeps you isolated, keeps you stuck in a rut. And so here's the thing, especially when it comes to imagination and the brain, right? Every time you have a thought, right, you have synapses that fire at the same time, and it's going to create a pattern, a loop, a groove. And so your ego gets so used to these things that you go on autopilot, right? You don't even think. There's so many people who wake up from day to night and haven't actually done a thought for themselves. They've been on autopilot. Like, they're not here. They're stuck in their head, but their body keeps doing things, so mindless. And so it's just your imagination, and your ego is telling you, I need to save you from this. But guess what? It doesn't. It's just an old pattern, a loop. And maybe physically in those things, but in the mind. In the mind, it's very real still, right? Those monsters are huge, but you can stop, collaborate, and listen, and find the balance and the gratitude of it. Because this gratitude was, okay, wait, I'm thankful for the opportunities that presented itself in the past. Guess what? It opened my eyes, my third eye. I can see bigger pictures. I can understand the meaning of why this negative thing, if you're going to perceive it as negative, happens. So that I can learn this happened because of this happened. And then this led me to here. And then this to this. And then I did this huge reroute back over here. And I said, what? How did I end up at the beginning again? And that's because you might have just fallen in one of those like synapses loops. You're like doing really good, doing good, doing good. And then maybe a thought will come, and with that thought comes all the emotions, and those emotions are scary, but we have the moon, right? That's water, emotions, but we're going to deal with it. Why? Because also in the past, it says Son of Gabriel. Look at all those colors. Beautiful. It says stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your personal power. What do you have power over? How you think and feel. You might not think you do, but you do. And so it's just changing your perception from what you see is happening to you and understanding that you create the life that you want. And so in this next 48 hours, I feel like that's going to give you so many opportunities. And really just take these opportunities and put seeds. You can put seeds anywhere you want. And then we're going to water them. And then, I don't know, just a couple moon cycles, growth is going to happen. So what I thought was cool, balance. It says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into the world. I do so without judgment. And then I actually misread this card because I thought it said judgment, but it said justice. But guess what? There's little scaly scales here. They're just like, hey, this or that, this or that. Well, I can't have both. There is a way to have your cake and eat it too. Why would you just bake cakes and never eat it? Never sell it to anyone because they can't eat it either. If I can't eat it, you can't eat it. Well, it doesn't make sense. Let the baker bake, and whoever wants to eat it, eat it. And guess what? You can have all your cups full. That's what I'm seeing. It's not a this or that. You can have all of it. But if your mind doesn't know how to yet, maybe, just maybe, this was an illusion. In reverse, it's not an illusion. You could do it, but your mind has to see it, to believe it, think it into reality. It's gonna be hard because sometimes you're gonna have to think of a thing that you're like, I don't know if I deserve that, but guess what? You do. It says fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor. Don't give up. If you don't believe in yourself, the universe is like, how's anyone else gonna believe in you, right? If you can't love yourself, how are you gonna love someone else? And then so it says equality. When I think of equality, doesn't mean that I have all this and I give to here equally. Maybe this person needs a little bit more. This one needs a little of this, but this one needs this plus something over here, you know, and finding that balance, harmony, right? Because if you're like, everything, all my energy and time has to be equal to these things, but this one doesn't need it. This one never wanted it. This one, you know, it's just whatever. So you could actually become overgiving and wasting all your time, and then at the end of the day being like, but my cups are empty. But you can have full cups. The scales can be balanced. It says, I embrace and nourish my creative aspects of my mind because I can think of a solution that makes everything work. I can't make everyone happy. They're in charge of their own happiness. But I can make myself happy. I can see things clearly. I can think a thought that's a higher frequency and realize that whatever in the past, those hurts and things, I can let it go because I'm reclaiming personal power. You have the power to make all the changes you want in your life, and why stress? So moving into the future, came freedom. What? That sounds pretty awesome. It says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Yeah, and you can't make other people happy. That's their job. You could like give someone $1 million and send them to Disneyland and do all these things, and they could still be ungrateful. And it's like, what? How? Why? Because it's an energy thing, but also soul lessons and purpose, all these things play into it. The only thing you can care about is yourself. And I keep seeing empty cups, and it's like, well, if I want this, I have to give up this. And if I want that, no. You can have your cake and eat it too. But guess what? Even if you like cookies, you can have cookies too. You can have ice cream. You can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. As long as it makes you happy and it brings you into balance and harmony, and it takes away that judgment. I keep feeling judgment. So, the angel to come out for this one, Archangel Michael. Blue and blue. Now we're into throat chakra. We're talking. We're empowering ourselves. We're going to say, hey, guess what? I want this. Blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to say it, and then you're going to be scared because you're like, damn, did I just? But you already thought about a positive outcome. You already pumped yourself up. You already gave yourself positive affirmations or something. I don't know. But you're going to be so damn surprised when the seeds sprout, or when they say yes. Or it's like, hey, can I get a raise? And they're like, yeah, you totally deserve it. And you're like, whoa, I thought it was going to be so much more of a challenge. But because you're doing all these things, you got the gratitude, you got the balance, you got the imagination of, no, I'm not going to focus on that negative thing. I'm going to understand, I'm going to comprehend, and I'm going to let go of judgment. Yeah, because that's what brings the justice and the balance. Because when you're at war with things, it's all within yourself, and you don't feel good. How's your heart today? Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of purging, a lot of releasing, and a lot of heart energy. What's Michael want to say? Wisdom and objectivity are important right now. There's the mind, wisdom, but really wisdom comes from personal experience. Stay in your integrity. A situation that calls for honest and open communication. We gotta talk about what it is that you truly want. Not what others want you to want, but what do you want? Honest and open, and I keep saying honest, but authenticity. What is real and authentic? Because they always say love is the highest vibration, but authenticity is just right up there too. So, this card was in reverse. It is Archangel Gabriel. It says a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. There's like all these birds, and I felt drawn to the cardinal and the blue jay. And now the owl's coming. So that owl comes back to that wisdom and objectivity. Yeah. But blue jay, throat, they're mouthy. I love it. They're some of my favorites. So much blue coming in this. Whereas in a couple of readings was like, okay, we got the third eye here. We got balance, we got freedom. There's so much in the past readings was like sadness, but this is like the other blue, sunshine and blue sky. Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face. So anyways, this great deal of activity, no, it's not going to happen because it already is. It's not coming, it just is. So what do you want to fill up your cup with? And so that's what my one teacher used to always teach me. This is one of my favorite sayings that I learned. I remember I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was like, 25 at the time, so fairly young. And I was like, damn, like, I don't know, I lost myself in that relationship. And so that was the hugest lesson for me. It did. I'm so thankful. Every time I look back at that, I'm like, that was my pinpoint. That was my turning moment. That's what guided me to the angels, because I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I just had this calling, and I joined this group. And then this group was it had something to do with angels. I don't remember what the name of the group was, but it turned out to be like this psychic development place. And I was just sitting there, and I did not want to be seen. And then what were you doing? Evidential mediumship, which is not my favorite. I can connect to your past life loved ones, and I could explain them to you, but to me, that gives me so much like nervousness, because I also think it's also the most empowering, because I do think seeing or experiencing is believing. And if you can prove to someone concrete evidential evidence that the soul never dies and that spirit exists, you'll change that person's life forever. And I have done that in other ways, but I'm not one to be like, so there's this guy and he looks like this. Anyways, funny. Anyway, so I was in this class, and I think I've already told this story on this channel, but I'm gonna tell it again, because the throat is flowing. But anyways, I was about to win, and I was like again, I was so broken, so sad, so down. And then boom, I just had this gift, and really I've had this gift my whole life. I believe that it's because, well, they tell me 2 reasons. Ancestral, could have came from just the bloodline, but it's also, I had a near-death experience when I was 3. And so the veil just always was never there. But anyways, I was about to win, and I was like explaining this, her grandpa, he came through. She came with a picture the next class, was like, this is my grandpa. And I was like, that's exactly the guy that I saw. And anyways, where are we going with this? Oh, my third eye, gratitude. I think, oh yeah, because I was in such a bad relationship. Right? They were always like, doesn't matter, because like the scales will be balanced. I didn't want that, but I wanted this, and I did this. And you know what? I look at who I am today, and to the girl who was there, and I send her so much love and gratitude. Send them gratitude, because they did the best with what they knew at the moment. But here I am, kind of in the balance, or now feeling balanced and being free of like things that used to just really, I used to just fight in my mind all the time. Why? Just funny, because the reading the other day was like, you should ask why. But eventually, you're not going to care about the whys. And that's the best part. It is what it is. Just let people be who they are. They make their own choices. You can't control that. I'm hearing, bye, Felicia. Let them go make their own choices. Because if you try to control that, that's when I heard things go bump in the night. That's when real monsters start, because now you're just fighting and conflicting, and now you're building it up in your head, and ooh, that ain't a feeling we like. So I did put one more card. It's this one, and it came from the divine, the soul vibes. So what's the message? Oh, it's the angels coming through again. Did I ever finish my story? I did, and I almost won. You wanna know what I did? I sabotaged because I didn't want to win. So I purposely threw it. I became second. I put myself in second place. And so don't do that. Fill up both cups. You can win and heal and be whatever. Anyways, I'm seeing a lot of angelic help, angels. There's so much love right now that's what I'm seeing for the next 48 hours. And I don't even know why they felt like giving me a specific time, because like energy can play out whatever. Like, what's going on in the world in 48 hours? Today's doesn't matter, they tell me. 48 hours when you get this. And 48 hours, you're going to plant the seeds to find balance. You're going to stop fighting your past. You're going to be like, hey, that's really freaking awesome. Because of that, I got this and this and this. Oh, there's a synchronistic event to come. So for some, I see you've already kind of put the seeds in, and they're going to pop off. And for others, hey, there's like, he's walking a path, and then there's all the flowers. And what did I see? I almost saw that story. It's like a Chinese proverb, I think, but where he had buckets of water, and one of them had a hole in it, and he was up, I'm gonna butcher it, but it pretty much was like he'd have to walk, and by the time he got home, it was like half gone. And so he was kind of angry at that side because, you know, it wasn't pulling its weight, wasn't doing whatever. But then at the end of the day, right, we got these two scales, and this one's like, why is it so light at the end of the day? Maybe that's just lifting all the energy up off you. Anyways, so they're walking down the path, and one's leaking, and little did he know, fast forward months and months later, on the path that had the hole, it had watered. It had flowers growing everywhere because the hole of the bucket watered everything. So what kind of flowers is it? At the place that I work, because I work a little part-time at the freaking coolest restaurant ever. Dude, my bosses, I'm just gonna vent and rave about, not vent, I don't know what to, praise and rave, I don't know. They're so cool. And every time I worked in a place, I often was like, if I had my own place, I would do it like this. If I did this, and it was always, and I'm Aquarius, so it's all about like the collective humanitarian whole. How could the collective of everyone benefit? Sometimes you can't make everyone happy, remember that, but you have to make yourself happy. And others aren't agree all the time, but as long as you do you, Spirit's gonna work with you to make whatever it is that you're working on thrive. But they have, their restaurant is run exactly how I always wished other places were. And the food is so good. And the vibe is so cool. And the walls are cool because they painted them all wacky. And anyways, they have a garden. It's almost like a farm to garden type thing. They grow all their food and everything's made from scratch. But there's edible flowers. So that's my point. Maybe on that bucket, it was watering seeds. Watering seeds. This 48 hours is gonna water seeds, whatever you went through. And so maybe at one time you're like, oh, this is frustrating me, blah, 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 blah. But then, boom, flowers. And yeah, there's so many edible flowers, like pansies. Pansies taste like pepper. Like salt and pepper, they taste like pepper. You can eat that on your food. And so everything has flowers. So maybe one day you're gonna be like, damn, I'm really hungry. I wish I had food. I have no money for groceries. Boom, edible food because of whatever it is that you went through. I'm hearing it's food for the soul, but yeah, I don't know. Life is cool. The next 48 hours are gonna be cool. Someone already planted the flowers and the seeds or the whatnots, the soul star seed. Those seeds have been planted and they're blossoming in the 48 hours. For the others who have been kind of stuck in that negative rut or something, I feel like I'm cracking open and be like, guess what? I can make the change I want to see in this world. And you're gonna meet other people who think and want to do things for the world just like you. Hence the bosses I met. They're so cool. They really are. Wish you all could come, but you know what? You gotta find your place where you are and build that community, and then you're gonna find other cool things. There's so many. This isn't the only place. These aren't the only people. There's so much awesomeness in the world. Anyways, anything else, Spirit? Because I should probably go get ready. Just the third eye. It's the imagination. You gotta control that. And I don't know. As much as maybe you're in a whatever feeling that doesn't feel good, meditate. Like, I don't know. You can go on YouTube and do like Reiki treatment, cord cutting, release whatever. Solfeggio frequencies or binaural beats. You can do affirmations. Do you know who I really like? Steve Noble. I love his guided meditations because he kind of like takes you and he learns to ground you, and then you do the soul work and it's just beautiful. I feel great every time. For myself, every time I like let go of something heavy that's like an energetic thing, like just a tear will come and I'm like, oh. So nice to have that release, especially if you are a person who can't express your emotions that way. With the moon in reverse, you're like, I can't cry, I can't do whatever. I don't know, you just gotta work it out however it is, like you gotta work it out. Dun, dun, dun. Work out. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. I feel like the message got out. I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you have an awesome 48 hours. And we'll leave it there. Bye, guys.